It's New Comic Book Wednesday, the best day of the week again, and we've got a big week. We've got first appearances, brand new series, and major titles releasing. So let's see what I get. So it turns out this new comic book day was way bigger than I thought. I've got a massive stack of books here, so keep watching this video to hear reviews on my top 10 issues of this week, and stick around until the end to see which issue gets my top investment choice, so stay tuned. Welcome back everyone, AR Comics here, and today I'm going to be going over my top 10 list from New Comic Book Day, November 4th, 2020. But before I get into that, if you are new to the channel, I drop weekly comic book content that includes upcoming book releases, speculation videos, unboxings and comic book hauls, and I also do New Comic Book Day reviews. So if that sounds like something you do not want to miss out on, make sure you hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. And now, without further ado, let's get started on the top 10 list. So I ended up having a way bigger New Comic Book Day than I anticipated. I've got 13 books in front of you today, and I'm only going to really be talking about my top 10. I ended up putting back Lonely Receiver number 3, Wolverine Black, White, and Blood number 1, and Red Atlantis number 1 as well. But I still will be going over the other 3 issues and letting you know why they didn't make the cut. So the first issue that didn't make the cut today is Boom Studios' newest miniseries, Origins number 1. I didn't really like it at all. I enjoyed the artwork, but if I didn't read the description of it, I don't think I would know what was going on. It felt very confusing. I felt like I knew what was happening, mainly because I did read the description. The story itself relied on the artwork a lot. It didn't really have too much dialogue. It felt like they were trying to tell a story without actually letting us know what was really happening. I think they're going to obviously dive a little bit deeper into it once the series goes on, but it is only a 6-issue mini run, and I think I would enjoy it more if it was an ongoing series. So the next issue I have for you today is DC's newest Black Label, Sweet Tooth: The Return, number 1 out of 6, and I really wanted to enjoy it. I really wanted to get into Sweet Tooth as a series, but this isn't a good jumping on point in my opinion, despite the description saying it is. I really do think this is meant for older readers that could just enjoy a brand new Sweet Tooth run. I think that they were referencing or mentioning older characters, and they were mentioning things that happened in the past, and it didn't really completely make too much sense to me. I was interested in this, and I do really want to read this, but for me personally, I want to read the old Sweet Tooth stuff first for me to fully understand what's happening in this series. So the final issue I have for you that didn't make my top 10 list, Captain Marvel number 23. This is cover A, and despite a lot of people talking very highly of this series and actually really enjoying it, I'm not enjoying it at all. I really don't like it. The artwork is okay. I think every arc kind of is getting worse. It started off pretty strong. I really liked the Star character, and I thought, you know what, I really like this. I'm going to get the rest of the series, and I have a couple second and third prints of the first appearances. But overall, I'm just really not enjoying it, and I do think I'm going to end up dropping this. I think this was the last issue. Despite it having a couple new first appearances, it's really just not for me. But these are the only 3 issues that didn't make my top 10 list, so let's talk about the real books. So coming in at number 10 today, we have Boom Studios' kind of new series, Mighty Morphin number 1. This is cover A, and the description did say this is a great jumping on point for new readers, and I kind of agree with that. I really enjoyed the issue. It was kind of set up like a mystery. All the Power Rangers are trying to figure out who is this new Green Ranger. This Green Ranger is showing up to all the battles, not speaking, kind of beating up on all the bad guys just like they are, and then once the battle's over, he disappears. They're trying to figure out who this is. Maybe it's someone already part of the team or someone they know, and I really like that aspect to the story, and I also really enjoyed the artwork. However, I don't think I'm going to continue on with this series. I really want to read the old stuff first. I know they have a little mini-series with the new character, Lord Draken. They have 3 different hardcovers out, and a 4th hardcover is coming out very shortly, either this month or the next month. And I just don't want to continue on with this without reading all the old stuff. So for that reason, I won't be continuing on with this series. And next up, coming in at number 9, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 51, The Last Remains tie-in issue. This is cover B, and I've got to say, I am not enjoying this at all. I really loved the last arc. I thought Nick Spencer did a fantastic job with it. Just with Sin Eater, Kindred, Norman Osborn, all of that together just created a fantastic arc. And I thought he did great. And I thought this was going to lead into something really special. And I think he's going away from that. And there's no reason for this separate tie-in, in my opinion. It's the same thing for both issues, just kind of different sides to the story, I guess. It can totally be tied together, and I don't like the route that he's going. I think he needs to get back on track with Kindred. I don't like how these spider characters are all possessed by either a demon or Kindred or whatever's going on. I'm just not really enjoying it. Overall, I just hope he gets back on track and just gets back on the main story with Kindred, because this wasn't that good. And now we have, coming in at number 8, Black Widow, number 3. This is cover A, and I've got to say, I really enjoyed these first 2 issues, and I thought this one was really good as well. They've done a great job building up this story so far. I felt that this one was a little bit slower, but they released a lot more information now. We've seen a lot more villains. Bucky and Hawkeye, they're still doing their thing, trying to figure out what's wrong with Black Widow. But the cool part that I really enjoyed about this issue is that she is slowly figuring out who she really is. She feels that something is off, something in her life is just missing, but she still has all of these weird abilities. Everything that she was as a secret agent is slowly coming back to her, and her old life is finally catching up to her. And I really like where this story is going, and I cannot wait for the next one. You need to give this one a shot. I don't know if it's an ongoing yet. They're not really saying in the previews website anything about it. It's not saying it's a mini-series, but I haven't read that it's an ongoing. So I am hoping that it is, because I'm really enjoying this. Check it out. And now, coming in at number 7, we've got Miles Morales, number 20. This is cover B. And before I even get into the issue, I just have to say I love this cover. I think it's so beautiful. I like that white background with just Miles kind of web-slinging towards you. I had to pick it up when I saw it. Thank you, New World Comics, for making sure I had this in my pull list today. I appreciate it. Make sure you go check them out. And now for the actual issue, I thought this one was really good too. I'm really enjoying this arc so far. I think they've done a great job with it. And one kind of low-key thing that I haven't really noticed about the series as a whole until kind of reading this issue is that they've been building this up the entire time. Everything in the beginning was Starling, the drugs that were being distributed, all played a part, and it all is happening right now. These drugs were being taken by everybody in the city, and now they're kind of turning into these goblinoids, and I really like it. I like how the Ultimate World Green Goblin is there. Ultimatum is kind of doing his thing, and I'm really excited to see where this series goes as a whole. I think you need to be reading this. I'm a big fan of Miles Morales, and this series is exceeding a lot of my expectations. Check it out. Next up, coming in at number 6, we've got Images Firepower, number 5. I love this series overall. Every issue has just gotten better and better. And one thing that I think is really underrated about this series is that they don't use a lot of dialogue. They let the artwork tell the story, and they kind of sparingly use dialogue to progress the story, if you know what I mean. This issue picked up right where the last one left off. The family was at the restaurant. The warriors from the dad's old temple are finally here. They're trying to get the family. And it was really cool just to see the families like full power. They all worked as a team to protect themselves and save each other. And that's kind of the entire issue. They didn't really progress it too much further. But if you did read this, make sure you be on the lookout for the next one, because I think it's going to have a major first appearance. Coming in at number 5, we got Images, brand new series by Donny Cates, crossover, number 1. I've got to say, I think it was a little overhyped. I think if it wasn't as talked about as much as it was, or previewed as much as it was, I would have liked the issue a lot more. I think I liked the cover art a lot more than the actual issue itself. I think it was a really good idea. I think it was really fresh. It was just a concept as if everybody in the comic realm just became real. They're in the real world, and the superheroes and villains are all kind of trapped together in the same place. They destroyed, I'm pretty sure it was Colorado. And it was a cool concept. I really enjoyed it. I think the story is going to get a lot better, but overall, I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling it. I think Donny Cates has a lot on his plate right now. He's got the King in Black, Venom, Thor, all those other series. I don't know if he can really juggle it all together. I got faith in him. I really like his issues. But overall, I do think this was a tad overhyped. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, because I know this was a very big issue releasing this week. There were a ton of different covers. There was a lot of store variants. And I went with just good old cover A. I think it's gorgeous. And overall, I did like the issue, but There was something about it that I just really wasn't completely feeling. I will keep getting this though. I know it's going to get better, but for an issue 1, I thought it was alright. And now we have coming in at number 4. This issue completely surprised me. I almost passed up on it, but we've got Web of Venom, Empire's End, number 1. This issue was way better than I could have imagined. I went into it thinking I'm probably not going to like it too much. I didn't read anything with Empire. I didn't really care about it, so I just thought I probably won't understand this issue or really care about this either. No. If you've read this and you've seen the old movie Alien, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It had an old school Alien vibe to it that I just really enjoyed. I felt that the entire time reading it, and it really just reminded me of the movie, and I loved it. I love how they went out, they had this distress call, they're like, let's go check this out. They went there, the symbiotes just took over the entire ship. Null eventually made his way over there, and then they escaped, but the aliens still followed, and in this scenario, it was the symbiotes. I loved it though. I thought it was so cool. I didn't see the cover B, so if you did see that, let me know. Was it really just that Null is coming cover? Because I thought that was stupid when I saw it on the previews, but I wasn't sure if that was actually the real cover for cover B. Either way, check this out if you didn't pick it up. It was surprisingly extremely good. And now we are down to my final 3 issues. Coming in at number 3, I've got Year Zero, Volume 2, Issue 1. This issue was so good. I really loved the first volume of Year Zero. If you were following me in my last video, I talked about how this was going to be written the exact same way. It was going to be following 4 new characters. And man, this artwork, the story, everything that they did with this issue 1 was incredible. It was way better than the first volume overall, in my opinion. I did like that one a lot, but I have so much faith in this new series. I can't really describe it too well. It's pretty much written the exact same way. 4 different people, 4 different areas, just kind of doing their own thing. But these people are so unique in their own way. And the writer just did a great job actually giving them a personality that I actually was intrigued and interested in these characters. I cannot wait to see where they go, how they survive, and what they do. Please pick this up if you get an opportunity. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a trade paperback coming out for the first volume, so check that out too. Next up on the list, coming in at number 2, we've got Batman 102 Cover A. Yes, you are looking at that correctly, and you heard me right. Batman 102 right there. I finally picked them up. I read 101 today, so I picked up 102 as well. And I know you guys have been commenting, read Batman, check out Batman, but why have you not actually been drilling it into my head? You need to read this, you need to do this, because this was incredible. I love this, and I cannot believe I've been missing out on this the entire time. This artwork was so good. James Tynion IV made an incredible story, and I've only read 2 issues. I haven't read anything else. I picked up some hardcovers for volumes 1, 2, and 3, I believe is the Rebirth stuff. I don't really know anything about it. But this issue, it had a first appearance of the Ghostmaker. It blew my mind. I couldn't believe actually how good this was. Now I have to pick up the other issues, and I cannot wait to read the next one. So take it from me, if you are not reading this, 101 is a great jumping on point because I have no idea prior. I know it has Punchline, Designer, Clown Hunter. Maybe get a little bit of knowledge on Clown Hunter. I looked him up a little bit more because he does play a vital role in this issue. And just read this, please. It was incredible. And now, coming in at number 1, my top choice of the week, we've got Thor, number 9, cover A. This issue blew my mind. I thought it was beyond incredible. It was so good. Donny Cates did a wonderful job with this. He really picked it back up after those last couple issues. I know they were slow. I didn't really like them, and I know a lot of other people didn't like them as well. But that story was very vital to this issue. They talked about how there was a problem with Mjolnir. There's something wrong with the magic and the spells that they were using, and that all got brought into this issue. I don't want to spoil everything. They brought in Donald Blake, but I love the way that this issue was written. It wasn't told as if Thor's talking to someone or it's a lot of dialogue. It's kind of like a story, and I thought it was so cool. Thor's tired of being king. He just needs a little break, so he decides to switch lives with Donald Blake just a little bit, and it is wild. Pick this up. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good jumping on point too. It doesn't really reference anything in the first arc. And that little tiny 2-issue mini run, you don't really need to know anything about that other than that there's a problem with Mjolnir and there's just overall a problem with the magic, and that's about it. It gets brought into this a little bit, but man, this issue just blew my mind. So for that reason, this is my number one top choice of the week. So now it's the time you've been waiting for. Thor was my number one choice of the week. However, for investment purposes, I would go with Batman 102. This is cover A. There's a pretty cool cover B as well, but this is the first appearance of the Ghostmaker. I know I haven't been keeping up with all of the other issues. They had a first appearance, Clown Hunter, Designer, Punchline. That's still a huge issue right now. I'm not sure how the other ones are doing because obviously I haven't been keeping up with it. This is really the first issue that I've reviewed for you guys, but I do think Ghostmaker is going to play a very big role in these next few issues. But overall, I don't think this week had a lot of big first appearances or lasting impression issues in my opinion. So for those reasons, I think this is the biggest issue that you should invest in this week. I think it's a big first appearance, and just being a new reader, I love this issue to begin with. So I'm hoping Ghostmaker sticks around because he's pretty sweet. So thank you for watching my video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new content, you won't regret it. And I've got 2 more videos sitting off to the side here with my comic book content. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.